Check it out. First time shooting a YouTube video on my iPhone 15 Pro. Camera is just phenomenal. It's just amazing. Also, the front camera can do 4K 60, which is just unbelievable. Because the XR could actually do 4K 60 already on the back camera, but anyway, yeah, I'm really excited. Maybe I gotta try out that wide lens on this as well. But yeah, I think I have an interesting topic today. It should be a good one. So yeah, let's get going. All right, so I got an interesting story. Yeah, so as many of you know, those of my friends and stuff, or those that know me that graduated in spring of 2023, we're entering the workforce now, looking for jobs, or a lot of us are doing masters or whatever. But basically my point is, I didn't start using LinkedIn really until I had to, which is now. So I was on LinkedIn, and a few weeks ago I got like a message. Oh yeah, okay, so Storytime, what day is it today? Wednesday? Storytime Wednesday? Storytime Wednesday. So I was on LinkedIn and I got this message, and this random Indian guy wanting to connect. It looked like he had like a Tamil name, but so that was kind of interesting. But just some random guy from Vienna wanting to connect, and in his message he said, "Hey, I'm networking with students or people that are interested in entrepreneurship. Message me back if you'd like to start a conversation." So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm looking for opportunities and such. So I did, and so I was like, yeah, I'm interested. So he was like, all right, sweet, let's schedule a Zoom call, introductory Zoom call. So there was an introductory Zoom call or whatever that I did. On your left, thank you. There was an introductory Zoom call that I did, and basically he just started talking about like entrepreneurship terms and like passive income, cash flow versus capital gain, all this stuff. Started talking about mentorship, what's important with entrepreneurship. And so I was just like, okay, let me entertain this conversation. I mean, it's kind of interesting. On his LinkedIn, it says he's a senior scientist. Maybe I shouldn't say too much, just for the sake of privacy. But so yeah, so it's like a 40. Kind of reminds me of like my dad's age, you know, probably a bit younger, but like 40 something Indian dude. And he is Indian Tamil actually, which is interesting. If you guys don't know, my parents are Sri Lankan Tamil. But so yeah, he just started talking about all these things, and I was like, okay, so what's really the point of this? You know, that's what I'm thinking. Like, why did he just connect with me on LinkedIn randomly? How did he even find my profile? And why does he want to schedule a Zoom call whenever I didn't submit any applications or anything for what he's doing, right? So anyway, there was this introductory Zoom call. I was like, okay, what is this about? He started talking about some specifics, like, okay, this is gonna be, so I work a full-time job. I'll get to more of what I'm thinking about in a second, but okay, I work a full-time job. Oh, this hill might be a little bit of a pain. It's not so bad so far. Maybe going down whenever I crash and bust my head open, that would be the real pain. But ideally I would be standing doing this, right? But standing, biking up this hill. But anyway, actually, let's get a little, those of you that have been here, I'm sure you appreciate this bridge as much as I do. It's kind of creepy in some places, but oh, and look at the beautiful fall colors. Yeah, so today is actually one of those days where it's like warm. It's like 70 something and it's November. We are probably going to have, this is gonna be like the last like warm day until the spring, I think. So it got a little bit warm for a while, which is really nice to just get outside and enjoy the weather, especially with a bike ride. For me, I love it. Beautiful, beautiful fall colors. I'm sure all of you know I love this stuff. And it's not something you can really convey, you know, over a video or social media. As much as I try to, that person really has to be open up to it themselves, because even whenever I watch the video or picture or whatever at other times, like it doesn't feel the same as like whenever I first saw it in person. So that's kind of the way it is, but I try to be poetic and try to convey, and hopefully some people enjoy it. But anyway, I digressed. Back to the story. So some squirrels. So yeah, this guy messaged me and he did all this like, okay, if you're interested in this opportunity, if you're interested in mentorship, entrepreneurship, let's schedule another call. He gave me some reading material, right? I think it's Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. I've seen videos of that guy on YouTube before. The Rich Dad, Poor Dad guy. And so he told me to read like the first 12 chapters or something, and for the next conversation. I was like, okay. So being the student that I am, I didn't really read. I just kind of skimmed through the main points like the day of. Some things don't change, right? Some things don't change. But so yeah. So I did that or whatever, and I think even the first day I asked like, okay, like what's the name of like what you're doing, right? What's the name of your business or whatever? Because I mean, obviously if it's not like, if it's someone you don't know, if it's someone you don't know that's messaging you randomly and you didn't apply through anything online, there's no one else you know in person that's doing it, then like the first thing you want to do is look it up on the internet, right? Look up the name, to see what it is on the internet. And he was very vague about that. So yeah, that was first red flag. Not really talking about it, kind of dancing around the actually like what it is. So that happens, and then the second call happens, and then we talk about some things from the book or whatever. And I mean, the thing is, like, to be honest, like I am interested in entrepreneurship. I am interested in startups. I think I even mentioned like I like watching Shark Tank. He kind of laughed at that, and he said, no, that's good. Like, I mean, because it's like it's real startups, right, that go on there, and there are real business deals that go on there. Obviously there's the entertainment aspect, but it's really cool to see, like, if you are interested in entrepreneurship, everything that goes into starting a business. There's the personal aspect, right? Like what's the sort of emotion behind it to where you wanted to start your own thing and pour your life into something. That's what some people don't understand whenever they look at those business deals. That's why equity of a business is so important, right? Like, and I think Mark on the show, I'm kind of talking about Shark Tank now. Mark on the show like really stresses that, like, you don't want to give up so much equity just to get a deal. Like, the value is really in the equity if you think about like everything you've worked up to until that point. And some people just kind of get blindsided by the potential success that they could have in expansion, and just sacrifice too much just to get a deal. That's my opinion, you know. Like, I think having equity of something that you poured your heart into is more important than just success at whatever cost. Giving up equity of your business just to expand, because you'll lose integrity, right? Inevitably you'll lose integrity of your business. Those are some thoughts I have. But anyway, so then he said, okay, then after this meeting, the next day, there was like a meeting with like other like business partners, quote unquote business partners involved in this, right? And so he said, it's like, okay, it's like a side thing. It's like 10 to 15 hours a week, and you're going to yeah, it takes 10 to 15 hours a week, and you need like a few $100s to start, right? So yeah, so lost my train of thought, but check out beautiful trees. Oh my goodness. Hopefully you can still see me. Okay, so yeah, so we're at like the third meeting at this point, of like, okay, him and like all the business partners. And so this is where it kind of gets interesting. So there's like different people. So I connected, he like gave me his WhatsApp or whatever, and he sent me like a card, like an image for it. And it's like this couple on the image, like this Indian couple. And so it's like a meeting with all these business partners. So I get into the meeting and dress as business casual. Like the people that are presenting are all in like suits. And first thing I notice, it's a lot of Indian people. It's a lot of Indian people and husbands and wives. It kind of reminded me of my like of my parents' family friends, to be honest. Like a bunch of Tamil people. Like I remember, oh my goodness, a deer. Oh man. Oh, I don't know if you could see that, but okay, let's see. Nah, I think it's gone. But yeah, it reminded me of my parents' family friends, because just a ton of like Indian couples, like middle-aged Indian couples. And especially it reminded me of like my parents and their friends, like the way they'd sit on Zoom back in like 2020 and 2021, right? Like sitting next to each other, like very like trying not to do anything embarrassing, like on the camera, like sitting quietly with smiles and stuff, and like just being very like conservative. So it was a lot of that. It was like 5 Chinese dudes, 5 or 6 like Chinese dudes, and then like one white guy, like around my age, like low 20s, and and like a few other like Indian bachelors. You know, I'm not Indian, but like looking like me, right? Shit, maybe I should turn around. Yeah, I think I'm gonna probably turn around. Hold on. Deer, can you see that? Yes. Oh, that one has antlers too. Nice little buck. That's awesome. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, so it was these Indian couples, and so they started the presentation. Started off by saying the guy presenting, honestly, he was a great speaker. The guy, so it was a man presenting, and he was with his wife, but he started the presentation. Great speaker. He started talking about how he was a mechanical engineer. He did his master's in mechanical engineering. He came from India. He came here to work and have a better life or whatever. And he thought he was God's gift to mechanical engineering. Like he was doing really well and everything. And basically he got laid off at some point in time. So that made him think about having an alternate source of income. And so, I mean, that was the same thing that the guy that I was directly involved with in the previous 2 meetings was saying, right? Maybe I should put a flash, not sure. So anyway, that was what the guy that I was partnered with was saying in the last 2 meetings, right? So he did all that, and he basically started talking about what he was partnered with in the organization. And he started talking about entrepreneurship. He asked like a question to the audience, like, what's the difference between a big business and a small business? And I think he asked me directly. I was like, actually, I forgot. Like, I don't even remember what that guy who I was partnered with told me, or even from the book. I don't remember. So, But yeah, anyway, okay, what is this all about? Eventually they got down to it, right? Because that was the question. Because I remember in the second meeting that I had with that guy, I was trying to like ask him like, hey, like, okay, what is your company called? Like, what is the name? He was like, no, that doesn't matter. Like, you'll start your own business. Like, it doesn't matter what the name is. I asked him, then after that, I asked him again, like, okay, like, what is the name what is the name of your business just so I know? Like, please tell me. He was like, no, that doesn't matter. Like, he said national, that doesn't matter. Oh shit. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say the name. Okay, so he said the name, just glossed past it. I was like, okay, wait, like, how do you spell that? And it was like, no, that doesn't matter. Like, and he just said the name quickly again. And so I was like, okay, what the hell is this? Like, he's not even telling me like what he actually does. And I remember the first meeting too, I was like, okay, so what product do you actually sell? And he was like, no, that doesn't matter. Like, you can do anything. You don't have to create your own product. So I was just like, what is this? Like, so essentially, like, there was some way he basically told me like they sell like a variety of like health products or something. I was like, okay, health products, like, all right. But in the presentation, eventually that main presenter of the Indian guy, the main presenter of the presenting with like the 60 something people in that Zoom session said, okay, we're partnered with Amway, and he showed the business model, the diagram of the business model, and guess what shape that diagram was in? A pyramid. A pyramid. Well, what a surprise. So yeah, oh my god. So yeah, so that happened. Honestly, during the meeting, like, I was super skeptical the whole time, but I wasn't really like, okay, this is bullshit, because there's real people. That's the thing, right? Like, I wanted to say this, I'm glad I remembered that. Okay, there was this few times in college, I think some of you guys may remember, like, there were these emails going around, like around COVID time especially, like, oh, like, this is a work from home, like 10 to 15 hours, like, we're gonna send you a check for some supplies, like, all you have to do is like buy, like, cash the check and then buy like supplies or something, some shit like that. And it's like, the first red flag was like, you look at the email address and it's complete nonsense. Like, it looks like a robot wrote that email, and especially the way the email is written, right? But the thing was, this is a real motherfucker. Like, this is a real Indian dude. Especially, you know, on WhatsApp, like, I can see his profile picture and everything. And on LinkedIn, like, he's a real dude. And also, like, after that third business meeting with all the business partners, quote unquote, he called me. He was at that meeting with his wife, and he FaceTimed me over WhatsApp with his wife. These are real fucking people, right? And especially, you know, like, in the Zoom meeting, it was real, like, Indian people, like, in Detroit, Michigan, like, all over the US, right? Just checking. Hopefully the lighting's okay, man. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I mean, just riding through this is just incredible. But yeah, so yeah, that's the thing, like, it's real people and there was several meetings with real people. And so during the meeting, like, I felt like, you know, I was just thinking about like my parents, family, friends or something. Like, I don't want to like challenge them during the meeting or ask like critical, like provoking questions, because like I don't really know. First of all, like, what this is. I'm skeptical, but I don't really know. And also, like, they're real adults. Like, they have full-time jobs too, like engineering or whatever, healthcare professionals, bankers. So I don't want to, they're like older than me. I don't want to like challenge them about this. I don't really know what they're doing, right? And of course, you know, I felt some sort of connection there as well. Like, just thinking like, okay, they're Indian immigrants. Like, it reminds me kind of my parents and my family friends, right? Even though, you know, they're Sri Lankan, but Hi. But yeah, but so I really didn't know during the call after that meeting, like on WhatsApp, whatever they FaceTime me, I'm thinking about if I want to like record this while I go up this hill or not, because it's gonna be a challenge. Anyway, yeah, during the meeting, after the meeting, he called me and he asked me like, okay, so he was with his wife too. He asked me, okay, so yeah, during the meeting, or I said during the meeting again, after the meeting, he asked me basically like, you know, the important decision is like, okay, do you want to continue the conversation? Like, do you think this is a place for yourself? I said like, you know, like I'm just out of college. Like I don't really have extra money to spend. Like I'm looking for like full-time work. Like I'm about to start that. I have other like things I'm about to start. And that's kind of what's important right now. One sec. On your left. So yeah, I said like, hey, like I'm not really sure. I don't want to waste your time. Like I'm not really sure if this is for me. He was like, okay, that's fine. Like I'll give you until like tomorrow until 5 to like think about it. But anyway, after that, it was a lot of information in that business model. I didn't really understand it, how it works, a lot of numbers and stuff. But one thing I know is whenever you are struggling with anything like this, like in the world, anything related to like money or job or like anything, I don't know if that really makes sense, but any sort of like practical matter in the world, you're not really sure like how to navigate it. Well, in today's age, one of the best things to do is look it up on the internet. Don't get hit by cars. But look it up on the internet, and specifically look it up on Reddit. Yes, thank you Reddit. Thank you Reddit for having all the smartest and most clever people talking about pretty much any niche topic you could imagine. Anything you really need help on is probably on Reddit. So yeah, looked it up on Reddit, saw a little bit of stuff on YouTube. I saw some stuff from Amway on YouTube, and I remember like it was like a video with like 100,000, 200,000 views, and there was like 5 comments on it. 5 comments on it that are like, oh wow, Amway is amazing. Like I'm so happy like I've partnered with Amway or something. And that's just, that makes no fucking sense, right? Because it's 5 comments on a 200,000 viewed video. And well, that's one big downside of YouTube removing the dislikes. Like you can see the dislikes on a video. If you could see how many dislikes, there's probably like 3,000 dislikes on that video, and there was like 500 likes. But since you can only see the 500 likes, you might think, oh, this is a legit video. So that's one unfortunate aspect of YouTube removing that feature. But it was helpful to the people, right? It was helpful to the people. But yeah, so learned about Amway, learned about network marketing. That's what he called it. I didn't mention that word yet. He said, God, this is dangerous. If I hit, you can't even see me now. All right, I'll be visible soon. Maybe you can't even see me whenever it's light out either, because it's so dark. Like whenever I'm out of that tunnel anyway, you know? Well, we'll see. But where was I? Shit. Yeah, okay, so I remember now. So I was at network marketing, right? Maybe I should put the flash. I'm not really sure. We'll figure it out. Okay, I'm just gonna try to, no. Okay, I'm back. Little nature break. Oh, this camera is just incredible. incredible. Beautiful Southern Illinois, beautiful Edwardsville. This is one of my favorite spots I've ever been to in my life, that's for sure. I've been here so many times, like, and whenever I was younger and everything. Nostalgic. But, yes. So yeah, looked it up. Network marketing, that's what it is, right? You guys can look this up yourself. It's an MLM scheme, a multi-level marketing scheme. And funny enough, I think this is Andrew Tate's Hustler University. I think it's like that too, from what I've seen. So okay, so all this stuff is just, I'm telling you like to the best of my knowledge, right? From what I've seen on the internet. I don't know too much about finance, but I'm just kind of learning, just telling you the best of what I know. So yes, Andrew Tate's Hustler University, I think it's also an MLM scheme. Essentially like an MLM pyramid scheme, which is hilarious. Essentially, it's based off of recruiting. Like, you invest some money into some supplies, and how successful you are is based on how many people you can recruit and have them buy supplies and try to sell them to other people. So essentially, you're not doing any work yourself. You're not doing any sort of service yourself or providing any sort of value to society by creating something or doing any work for anyone else that people actually need. The whole monetary gain that you get is just based off of recruiting other people and having them essentially get into debt until they can recruit more people. So it's a complete scam. It's a complete scheme. And it's quite sad, honestly, that it goes on because people would rather just earn money without really thinking like, okay, how am I contributing to society? How can I get something for doing nothing, essentially? Which is quite disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. Hello. So, yeah. Now you really not be able to see me. But, yeah, man, it was a pyramid scheme. I couldn't believe it. I literally, once I looked on Reddit and looked at all that shit, I could believe it because it's just some random guy messaging me on LinkedIn. But the crazy part to me was that, like, it was real people. It was real fucking people. And it was Indian, like, couples. Like, low-key reminded me of, like, my parents and, like, their friend. Like, Indian immigrants coming here that have worked, like, full-time jobs in STEM. That have kids and everything. And, like, they're involved in this shit. And it was real people, real fucking people on Zoom. Wanting to earn extra money and stuff. I was like, oh my God, like, and the thing is, like, that motherfucker that was like the captain of the presentation, like leading the presentation, the main speaker of the presentation, he probably is making money. Like, he's probably making a lot of money. And probably some of the other partners in there as well that have been there for a while, because they've recruited enough people to actually make money off of it. I'm not saying like they're not making money, but the way they're doing it is completely fucked up, right? Because it puts other people into debt until they recruit more people. It's basically like, it's essentially spreading cancer in the society. So yeah, it's pretty fucked up. It's not actually doing anything for anyone, providing any sort of product or service. Hello. It's just recruiting people. That's how you succeed. And that's why it's such a little time commitment to be a quote unquote entrepreneur. So it's bullshit. And yeah, it's pretty funny that I dealt with that. So yeah, to anyone I know, this is another fucked up thing. There was a lot of like high school people on there. All right, maybe I'll just use flash now. Okay. Oh no, I don't know if I can do this. No, I can't. I'm gonna crash into something. I can't do this. Okay. Fuck, it's gonna be too dark. Anyway, yeah, that was a crazy thing. Like, it's real, like, adults. It's like 40, 50-year-old adults involved in this shit. And the thing is, like, the deeper you get involved in it, the harder it is to get out, right? Because it's like, once you have that commitment, that monetary commitment or whatever, and you've started recruiting people, it's like, okay, well, like, I'm already in, I have a commitment, and like, I need to like recoup that commitment. And so you have to recruit more people, and then it just spreads that cancer. Like, it's terrible. Amway, look this up. You guys look this up. Amway and MLM schemes, pyramid schemes. Oh, it's fucked up. Network marketing. And the thing they never say, okay, what is it actually that they do? That's a big red flag, is they don't say the name of what their company, their quote unquote company. That motherfucker, he literally just named it after his niece. Like, I stalked his LinkedIn. I found out his niece's name, he just named it after his niece. To recap, one big red flag is, like, they don't say the name. They dance around those questions, what the name is, what they actually do. They say, oh, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about later. They try to purport it. They try to display it first as like a mentorship. That's one thing. And especially if you're, out of college like me, or another young person in any sort of, like, out of high school or something, they try to display it as like oh, this is a mentorship. You're learning leadership skills and all this entrepreneurship skills. So it seems valuable in that way for your career. So they always try to talk about it first, and, oh, we'll have you read this book, and always write, like, reading a book is like, oh, it's going to enrich my life, right? So, oh, this person cares about my growth. They try to make it personal to you, right? Like, oh, you seem like a good, like, leader. You seem like you have good decision-making skills, blah, 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 whatever other bullshit they say to try to have you identify with and make you feel better, right? So, or make you feel good about yourself and feel like this person sees something in you. So, man, normally I get annoyed by these lights, but this is actually helping me with this video, I guess. Hello. So, yeah, it's pretty fucked up. It's pretty fucked up, and it's pretty fucked up that, like, 40, 50-year-old people are doing it. And especially, like, it's like husband and wife. And if you think about it, like, okay, little tunnel action. If you think about it, like, if they've already invested, like, a certain amount of time and energy into it, like, they want to, recruit people and, like, recoup that. Like, but yeah, one other thing I wanted to say was, there was some people, like, fresh out of high school and in college, like, in that meeting, and it's pretty fucked up, like, how they're trying to recruit like younger kids into that. And honestly, they might not even think like they're doing the wrong thing, They might not, like, those Indian people that are doing it, and they probably made some money off of it, they might not even think they're doing the wrong thing, and they think like they're providing some value, or they might not even see the whole picture of what they're doing. But, and yeah, once you get into it, like, you're kind of fucked. So, yeah, I thought that was a kind of funny story that happened to me. Just some guy that messaged me on LinkedIn, random guy that messaged me on LinkedIn. And the thing is, I think he connected with some people that I know just because they're my mutual connections. He just connected with random people on LinkedIn. It's pretty fucked up. So watch out for that. Watch out for that scheme. Those people that I know, people messaging you on LinkedIn about entrepreneurship. When in doubt, one of the biggest lessons here is check Reddit. Check Reddit for what it's really about. One of the most useful things. Yeah, and don't fall for this bullshit, and don't think like, I mean, the point is of money, like I think a really like important thing to realize about money is like, okay, if you're earning money, you should be providing value to society, right? It's not just about like earning money, but it's like, how are you providing value to society with the work that you do? It's not just trying to earn a quick buck, right? I think that's important. So yeah, I think for me, I think one practical aspect of this, like, okay, why am I sharing this on my YouTube channel? One, it's a funny story, and also I think that's like Home Depot or no, but one important aspect of this, I think, is like, I obviously on my channel I talk a lot about spirituality and stuff. Well, spirituality isn't just about like feeling these beautiful emotions and a lot of the abstract things that I normally like prefer, like love and all that stuff, love, joy, all that stuff. Those things that honestly I do prefer, like if you know me, if you see how I act and what I do, I usually avoid like concrete, like business sort of things, unless I really need to do it. But it is necessary, right? If you're going to live in this society, if you're going to live in the world, it's necessary to complete some certain things, school, career, or whatever. But so my point is with spirituality, okay, there's the abstract side of it, there's the living beautifully side of it, experiencing beautiful things, but then there's also the having clarity about something, acting with sense, not acting out of greed, not acting out of having a distorted view of yourself, like a distorted self view that, oh, this person sees something beautiful in me. Acting with sense in the sense that like you understand business and why it works. It should be mutually beneficial to both parties. So seeing that, understanding the context of the situation, and then acting accordingly and seeing what's really going on here. So yes, acting with sense. Acting with sense is a very important part of spirituality, yoga, meditation, or whatever. It's not just being some disconnected, like spiritual hippie, like just in their own world, in their own, like drugged out in their own world, not able to make sensible decisions, concrete decisions, and act in the world appropriately. It's not about that. It's supposed to give you more clarity for that, and to act as needed. So yeah, kind of an interesting thing that went on. Hopefully somewhat entertaining or beneficial to listen to for those that are using LinkedIn now because you have to get a job or whatever, or to enter in this career world, as like those of my friends, peers that have graduated recently, are going to graduate. We're in our early 20s. We're starting to use this stuff and network and all that stuff. Hopefully it's entertaining and beneficial for that. And well, as I'm doing this, as I have graduated, the question of me making my own living is very evident, right? So that's kind of a need right now, right? I have to become more independent, financially independent, and become more of an adult. So at first, this might sound silly or crazy to some of you, but I was thinking about how could I make money from YouTube? And well, that thought has crossed my mind, but at the same time, I realized that if I were to make a living from YouTube and I were to depend on a living from YouTube, that I would probably have to compromise the integrity of the videos that I make in some way or fashion. Just because you have to satisfy a certain market to get enough views, to get enough numbers to make enough money or whatever. So, well, I think I realized that like I want to I want to be free of that. I want to make my own living doing something else, and have my YouTube channel, have my social media specifically, completely like dedicated to just freedom of thought. keeping that integrity, that I'm not motivated to do this for anything else other than I truly believe, I don't know if believe is the best word, but I truly mean what I say on my YouTube videos. I truly mean what I say. I truly care about whatever I say. And there's a certain integrity to it. It's not motivated by the need for anything else other than like, it's who I really am and what I really think and what I feel is really important. So yeah, I want my YouTube channel to be like that. I want the integrity to be there. I want the freedom to be there. I think that's what's important with what I post on social media. Not popularity, not making a living. Making a living is important, but I don't want to have to do it through YouTube. Hello. So, yeah. I guess that's all I really have to say. Yeah, I don't know. This video, you know, just recording it now, what a mess. What a mess. It's dark now. Who knows how much of this video is even visible, where I'm even visible. You know, it gets dark so early now with the time change and everything, but it is what it is. It is what it is. We'll see what I can make out of it. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. I guess. Yeah. Bye.